Hello, fellow Corridor Baptist Church members and friends. No, there's been a lot of changes forced upon us over the last few days because of the coronavirus known as COVID-19. There have been a lot of different reactions to these changes because of the lack of control we have over all these unforeseen circumstances. Why some have reacted in fear and panic. Others have reacted in anger and defiance. Some have responded by finger pointing and blame. Well, all of these are understandable reactions. Let me challenge you to react in a way that is both biblical and productive. I believe that God would have us react in faith and compliance. I'm so excited to see what God is going to do through Corridor Baptist Church in the upcoming days and years. Since coming to Hillsboro in 1993, we have gone through and endured some great hardships, each one seemingly worse than the previous. The one thing that each difficulty has in common is the fact that God always comes through. Well, I believe it's no accident that just when we purchase a piece of property as a church, the world seems to be falling apart around us. Was this not the case when Daniel got promoted to the top president in the Medo-Persian Empire to shortly thereafter have a law passed that made praying to his God illegal? In the end, Daniel would be elevated while his enemies were destroyed. I also can't help but think about Mordecai, who helped his cousin Esther become the queen in that same Medo-Persian Empire. Well, he also helped thwart a conspiracy against the king. Yet an anti-Semite named Haman was promoted, and he soon made a law that would allow all the Jews in the empire to be exterminated. By the end of the book of Esther, however, like Daniel, Mordecai was exalted while his enemies were destroyed. God will exalt his church. Jesus said concerning the church that the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. We've already seen miracles and deliverance, and we will continue to do so, but every member of Corridor Baptist Church must do his or her part. I want to challenge you to please do the following three things. Number one, be positive. Be an encouragement to one another by way of email, text, letter, or fellowship. We don't simply believe. We know of a certainty that God will come out on top of all of this, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. Be positive. Number two, be a participant. As we live stream our messages, don't come up with the excuses as to why you did not join us. Also participate by continuing to give. Even though we may not be able to be assembled for a bit, the bills of the church continue to pile up. We must still pay rent. We must still pay utilities. We're still purchasing property. We must continue to pay our staff. And believe it or not, live stream and recording the messages it's more time consuming and requires more work than when we do it in person. There are several ways you may continue to give. You can give online via the church website, corridorbaptistchurch.net. You may mail your offerings to the church, or you may come and hand deliver them to the church office, as we will continue working through all of this. Don't be guilty of putting your church off by not being positive, not participating. And number three, you need to pray. When you feel overwhelmed, pray. When you're tempted to complain, pray. When you start feeling down, pray. James tells us that the effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. We need to be praying for our president. We should pray for our nation. We obviously should pray for those being affected by this virus, and we really need to pray for one another. 3 easy ways to help your church and yourself through this crisis. Be positive, be a participant, and pray. Just watch and see how God gains the victory. I'm honored to be the pastor of Corridor Baptist Church. I'm humbled to be a minister of Jesus Christ, and I anxiously await to see God work miracles in this crisis. May God bless you as you continue to to serve Him.